Hello and welcome. This is Content Management. My name is Eddie. I'm going to be your substitute instructor for just a couple chapters here. My friend, my co-instructor, Brandon, he's going to be taking over pretty soon, but I'm just going to be with you guys for a few chapters. So it's good to see you. If this is your first time, welcome. If you've been through a couple of our other courses, welcome back. Let's take a look and see what do we have in store for the next couple of videos. We do have the course topics already in a couple of the other pages, but let's talk a little bit more about them so we have a better taste, a better idea of what are we getting ourselves into. So starting off, if you have taken our in-person courses, you know that they're divided into different number of days. So if we were doing this traditionally, this would be day number 1. So starting off here on day number 1, we're going to be really driving the idea of what is content in the Liferay world, right? A lot of what we've talked about in previous courses, more specifically, the fundamentals course, revolves around creating a user experience. Now, this experience is typically driven with content. So we'll see what exactly is content. We'll take a look and see how do we create and manage content within Liferay. What are the different types of content and how are each different types of content related to each other in regards to what commonalities do they have. We'll take a look and see how do we display this content through the use of sites and pages. As we progress through, we start off broad and then we're going to start honing in on different aspects. The first aspect we're going to hone in on is going to be digital asset management. So digital asset management in Liferay is taking a look and seeing how do we upload our own files into Liferay? How do we manage those files once they're uploaded? What are some of the tools and features that we get to make that happen? So we'll take a look and see how do we manage thousands upon thousands of documents, if we have that many, and how do we organize them with the idea of metadata or information about those specific documents or files. From there, it takes a lot of time to do a lot of things in the content world. So we're going to see how do we expedite some of those things. The first thing we're going to take a look at is with these things called web content. Web content has what we call structures and templates. So typically when we created web content, it would be kind of manually. We were in charge of the stylistic aspects and all of the content behind it. So what structures and templates give to us is an easy way to decide what sort of copy, what sort of information I want to put within content by using a structure, and then we can style that content with the thing called a template. So structures kind of define what goes into content. Templates is going to make it look pretty. It's the stylistic aspect. One of the new features here in Liferay 7.1 are these things called page fragments. It's a new way of creating content on a specific type of page. It's going to be called a content page. It's really cool. I think it's a very, very neat feature here in Liferay 7.1. So you're going to want to check that out. So we're trying to make things easier, trying to make things faster once we have explored all of the different aspects of content. So the self-service solutions is going to show us how do we create a site really quick, right? We don't want to spend a whole bunch of time, kind of trying to configure sites and then redoing the same thing over and over again. If we can make it faster, we will. So we'll take a look and see how do we make our sites really quick? How do we publish our pages just as quickly? We're going to take a look at one of the most powerful widgets or applications within Liferay. It's going to be called the Asset Publisher. So we're going to see how the Asset Publisher is going to help us display and show content automatically. So create content behind the scenes. Asset Publisher is going to show it right away. With content as well, we may want to display content on very specific pages. And so one of the ways that we can do that within Liferay is what we call a display page. So we're going to create a very specialized page that's sole purpose is to display content. Content coming from way out there, we want to display it on that display page. We'll see how to do that. And then finally, this last part in the self-service solutions is controlling the way our applications display things. So instead of showing maybe a list, maybe you want thumbnails, or instead of thumbnails, maybe you want, big cards. So we're going to take a look at these things called application display templates, or ADTs for short, and see how those help us configure the way our widgets and our apps display content. From there, we're going to move on and we're going to hone in on another specific type of content, blogs. So we're going to see the tools that are used within Liferay to help us create blogs for whatever use case, in this case, marketing. So that's day one. A lot of things are going on there. Now, if we're again in the traditional world, over here on day two, we got another couple of things for us. So day two, or kind of the second half of the content course, we're going to start off with localization. We're going to see how do we provide translations for the content that we create. Obviously, not everyone in the world speaks the same language, so we want to be able to cater to that, and we'll see how to do that within Liferay. From there, we also want to target the users themselves, right? If I have an IP address coming from Spain or Germany, right, we want to automatically display the translation that's relevant, right? We don't want to be, in a non-English speaking country and seeing English text if we have the translation available. So we'll see how to do that, how to target the users so that proper translations show up, proper things show up. And we'll hone in a little bit more on this idea of targeting our users through templates and fragments. Moving on, we want to see how to search for content. As we create more and more content, it might be a little bit harder to find what we're looking for. So we'll see what are the different ways, tools that we have within Liferay to help us find that specific content that we are needing. From there, moving on once again, we'll take a look at another type of content within Liferay, creating forms. So we'll see how do we create a form within Liferay, what are some of the features and functionalities that we get when we create a form. So we'll go through that whole process. Next up is going to be one of the most crucial aspects of this course. So again, you're going to either want to stick around, or if you're really interested, you can jump forward. That's the beauty of videos. So we're going to take a look at this idea of workflow. How do we ensure that the content that's being created is indeed the way that we want it? Is it copy edited? Is spelling and grammar correct? Is it up to date? Does it align with our goals? All of these questions can be answered as we go through a workflow. So before things become public or published, workflow helps us go through an approval process. So we'll see how do we add a business process? How do we create a review process? How does workflow work at the end of the day? Finally, last topic is staging. Staging helps us work on a site without affecting what's live. So what we are able to do is work on some stuff. Once we're ready, send it over to the production site. So we'll see how do we enable that? How does it work? How do we prepare our pages and our content to be what we call staged? The whole feature is called staging. So we'll see how that works. We'll see how do we version different pages so we can work on a number of different versions or multiple versions at the same time. How do we automate the process? If you want the welcome page to be published every Friday, how do you do that? We'll find out. And finally, A/B testing, right? 1 or 2, which one looks better? 3 or 4, right? Not the optometrist, but A/B testing can be done within staging. We'll see how to do that as well. So a lot of different things are going to be covered. Let's go ahead and jump right ahead and start taking a look at the first section, engaging users with content.